Hello, everybody. It is me, Joe Dubs, and I am back with more of Couch Entertainments, which is season one of the Ark, the season finale, which is episode 12. And I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm not going to be very charismatic in this at all because literally this whole episode is just one giant wet fart. I don't, I don't know what they were doing. They brought me on this ride, right? And keep in mind, there was a lot of bad in this season, but there were parts where I'm just like, hey, I want to know about William Truss. I want to know about Maddox. I want to know about, why, what happened to the Earth, and why are there many arcs? Why are the arcs so different? And they do bring that mystery, but it just doesn't get answered. And I'm hearing that there's a second season that's coming of this, and I'm just like, am I gonna get a whole season where it's there's gonna be a bunch of mysteries and there's not gonna be any questions solved? So let me do some things here. If you remember last episode, they had to leave Lane behind because they had to undock the shuttle. So he escaped, what do you call it, captivity, because I don't know what it is, and someone in the comments said that kids are running the ship on the Ark. But if I remember correctly, this Ark is different than Ark 1. So they should act different, right? So let's take a look at this. By the way, I guess good fighting. But asks him to take it off because there's nowhere else to go. And these dumb security people, which by the way, last episode lost prisoners before, so wouldn't you think that there would be more security? And I know there's like four guys there, but you think they would be like, "Hey, tough luck, man. Wait until we get into the actual room." But no. And another thing that they did in this episode is they have this whole thing with Bryce and his clamp things, and I wanna say throughout this whole series, the only 2 people I cared about were Lane and Bryce, and now, Eva or Ava, whatever her name is. Like, this should have stayed till the end of the episode so that we get the satisfaction that he is gonna make it through, and also to the fact that once we get to the part about the planet. So Lane contacts Garnett, says, "Hey, I'm gonna try to find a way, to get to you guys, or at least to try to." Oh no, his mission is to stop the FTL. Last episode, Alicia and Kabir didn't know why the cure was not going through the bloodstream, and then they found out that the venom hardened once it was extracted from the spider. So, they're contemplating, and this is what I like, by the way. Like, even though it's cringy, it does look like they're having fun on the set. And I think this is like a genuine moment. And I'll just show you real
I know,
quickly.
but come on, man, bite
Look at the
me.
Ava.
Are you afraid of spiders?
Oh, you want to put your hand in there, do you? Look at those things.
No, I know they're terrifying, but we don't know when
Like,
their
she's
next
like
attack
still
may
laughing.
occur. This may be the only way.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I like that moment. So what they had to do is they had to let the spider bite him so that the venom won't harden, just like how it was when they were incubating the cure. So he has to stick his hand into this like glass container of spiders. Let me see if I get the moment.
Maybe we need to make them angry.
No, please don't. Please don't. Ah! Ah!
It's working. They're biting.
I know.
So yeah, that was a funny moment. I this made me laugh too because Lane is trying to find the FTL, and this is what he does.
What's that noise?
Alarms! Kelly called it the most valuable tech in the universe, remember?
So he just beats the shit out of the machine, which that's what I would do if I don't know the technology. And then they do this like weird transition where he went into the room and there was like one guy, and then like the next transition after he started beating that, because you don't see the door open in any way, you don't hear the door open, but the next scene you just see like one, two, three, four, five plus Maddox surrounding him, and he's taken as a prisoner. Then we get more of, you should have never loved me and all that stuff. And he's like, doing the whole it's too late. And, Kabir is reading the tablet and she's giving the diagnose.
Yes. It appears to have worked.
I'm sorry. What's worked?
There are no longer any visible Clampkins toxins in your blood. The venom neutralized it.
A good moment. But I think the moment was premature. I think this moment should have been near the end so that we have the tension that I don't know if it will work or not. But then obviously the scenes that happen from here on out wouldn't make sense at all. And we'll get into that. Uh, they're happy. This was a weird scene for me because I don't know if it's the actress where she can't portray happy tears. She comes in like distraught. Now, I could possibly think that maybe there was like tons of stress and maybe the stress was like overwhelming for her and she just started crying. But she came in like distressed and you know, even like Garnett, like I wonder if this was like improv in any way because like Garnett's like, is he okay? Like, is he dead? And like, even when she says that he's gonna make it, she doesn't do it with a smile at all. Like, that's the face pretty much that she gives, and I'm just like, well, that's freaking weird. And then we had a weird, Garnett crying scene. And then we had a moment which I liked. Bryce came in, he was being his cheery self and all that stuff. Garnett giving a hug. So they had to discuss what they were gonna do with Mannix. Now, I do agree with Garnett. They do have the upper hand. They have William Trust that could spin the planet, and also they have the cure of clampings because they have the spiders and you need to be bitten by the spiders in order to get the cure. So they negotiate, and Garnett says, "Yeah, we'll make a deal. You give us Lane, and we will give you the cure, and also we will give you William Trust, planet spin technology, and we get to live together." And she's like, that's stupid. I'm like, I'm just gonna kill you guys anyway. But then she asks Lane, and Maddox, who's been this, quite bitchy villain type of a character, is like starting to second guess, like, should I go along with this? Because I'm dying. I just had a heart attack and I'm like on my last leg. Uh, she go talks to William Trust and, pretty much tells the plan that you're going to do the planet spin. And he's like, well, no, I'm not. That's stupid. Like, well, he's like, well, you better do that or everybody's going to die pretty much. Uh, so Maddox is setting up to go in the shuttle and there's soldiers were going in there and Lane was like, you're stupid. Like, you have a chance to get cured and you're gonna go ruin it by sending soldiers because like you send soldiers, one, they're gonna make sure that you don't get the cure and you're just gonna die. and he kind of gives credit to Garnett, like she'll follow through with the deal. Will you? And it kind of puts like the ball in her court. Like, will she follow through the deal? And obviously, when the shuttle comes, Lane comes out first, showing that he changed Maddox's mind a little bit. Maddox is curious about the deal, and she's kind of like trying to feel out how Garnett is. Um, then we get a surprise where Kelly comes out. Now, if you remember last episode, she was betrayed by Angus. So I knew right off the bat that she was going to try to find Angus and kill him. And Maddox didn't know about it. And I actually believed her because she pretty much hates her daughter. And what happened in last episode where she was ashamed by her, I totally believed her when she said this was not part of the plan. So I knew she wasn't backstabbing at all. Uh, this was another funny scene because Maddox is like, "I how can I trust you with these spiders? What if I stick my hand in here and you guys are trying to kill me?" And Bryce like shows his hand showing the bite marks. Uh, Kelly does this thing where she's like, "I'm gonna get sick," and she needs to go to the bathroom to throw up. And then we get this stupid scene, which again, this is just stupid stuff going on.
Make it.
I I don't know why people on both arcs are just stupid as hell. But anyway, we have Maddox here who's happy about the results, about being cured. And we get this scene here where Angus is back with his plants. And this. Here's Kelly.
I thought there was something real growing between us. You used me.
For everything I did for you.
You threw it all away to be here with these people. To be with some stupid plants.
Chunk. Alicia saves the day. And I don't know if she's dead. I think she might be dead. She's bleeding out of her head and stuff. Maddox comes in here. She's, you know, being all motherly, I guess, and still concerned because that is her daughter. And she's like, "What the hell happened here?" And Angus takes the fall for Alicia, said it's his fault, and she kind of does the thing. Well, you're lucky that you saved my life, and it moves on pretty much. So, what do you call it? Oh yeah, that's right. William Trust did a deal with Garnett saying to pretty much bring the therapist. I forget her name all the time. I think Alicia. I think that's no. Alicia's the other one. I don't know. just the therapist lady that we sometimes see in this season. Uh, she's trying to be like, I need a friend, and he's kind of like, I want to bang you, and she's like, wait a second, like your wife just died, or you're an idiot, and he's like, yeah, I guess we'll be friends for now until we get banging again. Um, Kelly, looks like she's gonna survive. She just needs to get to Arc 15 for the surgery, and Garnett agrees that in order to be nice and so that we could all live on the same planet, that they would allow that to happen. So Garnett and them are talking, and Maddox is saying, "Hey, um, I still don't like you, but I'll still go by the word of the deal that we made," and that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Then we get this scene where Alicia and Angus are looking at the data of the planet and talking about something weird on the other side. Because if you remember last episode, the eye planet, where the other side of the sun should be ice, but apparently it's not ice, and we get to learn what that is later on. Then we have this scene where they're still dodging each other, being like, she's clearly in love, but I think he's like probably second guessing things now after he did kind of fall in love with Kelly and then almost got killed by her. So I don't think he wants to be in a relationship right away. Then we get this scene with Ava and Bryce having a date into the dome where there's trees. Then they have a moment of, you know, lovey-dovey stuff. Really doesn't really matter anyway. Uh, Bryce, Lane, and Garnett. Lane kind of brings up like, "Hey, I just did this heroic thing, and we're all gonna live on a planet now. Can I please have my rank back?" And they do give him the rank back. And he said, Under one stipulation, the only reason I'll take my rank back is we get to call you captain." And she's like, let's get to the planet before we start naming ranks and stuff. So they're starting to set up the technology to spin the planet. And what do you call it? William Truss says back up a little bit from the planet while we so that we don't collide with Arc 15, but he was kind of swerving them a little bit. And because of the gravitational pull, he wanted to be away from the planet so that Arc 15 could be pulled by the gravitational pull. And we call it, they'll they will Arc 15 will just crash to its death. And Maddox is confused, like, "Hey, there's 400 people on here. Are you, backstabbing us?" And there was a part in this scene here where they're just like talking to each other when at least one of them should have been like still talking to Maddox, because there's parts where they're just completely ignoring Maddox for a while where she's like, "Hey, do you read me? Do you read me?" And when they decide to speak, it goes out because of whatever magnetic field is blocking. But eventually, they stop it. In some sense, they have Alicia who fixed it, and then Maddox is happy, like, "Hey, um, thank you for saving us again," since that's been happening. Then we get this swerve here of well, William Trust finally, after he got punched by Bryce, by the way. Yeah, I don't need to show you guys that. You've seen that like before in the other episode. But now since they're far away from the planet, both arcs, he could turn on the machine. And this is where we get a surprise that on the other side is methane, not ice, and the planet is gonna explode. Uh, Now I gotta call BS on this because again, they have to do this life and death thing where they have to get away from the planet because it's gonna explode. And Bryce talks about some technique about releasing some chemicals so that he gets a little more thrust into his ship to go. But tell me if I'm wrong. People that are really into science, when a planet explodes, there's no way to outrun it when you're in this, like, at least close as they are right now, correct? Because the explodes and they like, um, and I was just like, this is BS. Like they would have to keep on going, am I right? And like they do kind of make up for that because one of the debris comes in and smashes a section of the bridge from the other part of the ship. So, you know, they don't have enough air left, and they're all like, "Man, we're gonna die after after going to battle with like Arc 15 and stuff, and all that drama that happened, and Bryce getting cured of clamp things. That they're just gonna die because the planet that they thought they were going to was gonna save them, and in the end, it's killing them." Uh, but because Maddox, um, is kind of paying it back. She's like, I'm going to send a shuttle and we will rescue you guys, and we'll, send medical as well on whoever's hurt. And that's where it ends. Like, it just ends on a wet fart. Like, I think this part. Here's the thing. Like, I think they should have made this halfway through the season. I think there needs to be a kind of a villain. Um, Not saying Maddox is not a villain, because technically she's like a gray character. She's not bad and she's not good. She's just trying to survive. William Trust, I think, kind of became the villain near the end of this, especially when he was trying to murder people on Ark 15. But again, he's still kind of gray because he was smiling with the team after he had his technology starting to work, probably because he thought he was thinking he was going to get on the planet, which that didn't happen. But man, I didn't care for this episode at all. Like, the only thing I cared about was Bryce was okay, and after that, everything was just boring. And obviously, all the silly stuff that was happening in this episode, uh, didn't help at all. But yeah, that's the season finale of the arc. There is a season 2. I'm gonna wait and see what that's all about. Let's hopefully see. I kind of want to see them on a planet. I don't want them just exploring space all the time. I think it would be great if, like, they do reach a planet, but then the planet only can sustain certain stuff for a little bit. Maybe they could stay on a planet and there's enemies on the planet that they're landing on. I kind of want to see that. This season was a ride, so to say. Um, I'm not gonna rank it. I might do another video where I kind of just talk about the whole season, but who knows? Maybe I said I was gonna do that for The Last of Us, and I never did. And just because I don't want to beat a dead horse, but maybe I'll have something to say. But I think that's where we'll end it here, guys. If you liked what you saw in this video, please like the video. If you're new, hit subscribe. And if you have anything you want to say, comment down below. But until next time, guys, I will see you on the couch. And by the way, there's going to be some announcements next week. So look out for a video, because I'm going to be putting a video for these announcements. So see you guys later. Peace.